Hi, it's Liz. Let me ask you a question. So, what do you do when you're in your 50s and you've just been laid off from your corporate career of 26 years? You don't jump off a cliff. I chose to take a huge leap of faith and reach for my brass ring. Join me on my journey as I build my online stationery business and rebuild my career differently, creatively. Oh, gopher. Almost ran over a gopher. Dang. It's not easy. When I found out that I was going to be let go from my job due to a job elimination, I went through so many emotions. It was like, okay, what do I do? How am I going to survive this? This has never happened to me before. And, so many thoughts went through my mind. I wanted to some days just bury my head in my sand and pretend like this is not happening. But thankfully, I have a very supportive husband who said, you know what, whatever you want to do, we'll do. I support you. So, I mentioned in my last video how it was like 2 months of looking for another role within the company and not really feeling it, not really, having that motivation. And I think it's because, after 26 years, it's like, woof, time to do something new. But I didn't know what that new was. So next 2 months was trying to figure out what that new was while I was preparing to go on disability to have my surgery. And then when that surgery happened, it was like, I tell you, after 2 weeks, it became all clear. It's like, no, I don't want to stay with the company. And not anything against the company. It's a great company and I still believe in them and they do great work reimagining medicines. I just no longer wanted to do that job. I wanted to do something fresh and new. And that's when I realized also too, I needed a break, both emotionally and mentally and physically. I was exhausted. I was tired. And for women of my age, you just ignore those things and you push them aside and you say, oh no, I'll get through, because you have a family to support, a child to raise, you have things going on in your life that's just like, no. But being on that recovery time period really made me aware that, no, I need to listen to what my body is telling me, listen to what my emotions are saying. And thankfully, I had that break to tell me, no, you really, really need a break. And so when I decided that I was going to start a stationery business, I found that I started inhaling YouTube videos. Okay, how am I going to do this? And literally what happened, I started putting together a business plan. I mean, that's from my experience in corporate America. It was, let's put a plan together. My background is in project management, so let's put together a business case. Let's start doing a risk-benefit analysis. Let's doing all of this documentation just to know what my heart was already telling me, which was, Liz, oh, gopher. Almost ran over a gopher. Dang. Yeah, you guys, I live in the wild kingdom. I have bears, deers, foxes, gophers, you name it, turkeys, they all come through around here. Maybe I might get to see the bear. There's a mama bear with 4 cubs in our neighborhood. But, and everything came back to what I knew to be true. I needed to be creative. I needed to reinvent myself because this was my opportunity. I was not going to get this moment again in time to do this. because what was I looking at? Going back into corporate America, and working until my daughter graduated college. So that's well into my 60s, and the benefits of having a child when you're almost 44. But that aside, so I had to take the risk. I had to take that leap of faith and start this business, something that I was passionate about, something that I am so passionate about, and just do it. Pull the trigger, do it. I coach so many people. What are you afraid of? Is that fear valid? Is it just you holding yourself back? Take that risk. So here I am, off to the bank to open my business account. And really, I mean, this is like the real, and take that risk. So here we go. Hi everyone, I'm back in my workshop. Yesterday was quite emotional, celebratory. It was also filled with stuff to do with my daughter, and I didn't get a chance to film coming back from the bank and meeting up back in my workshop. And hopefully you couldn't hear that music, because I don't want YouTube to come after me for copyright. And I was just listening to Savannah Grass by Kess. If you know, you know. Favorite song of mine. I used to play it when my daughter was a baby, and we would dance in her nursery, so it gives me positive vibes. I thought I would come back to the workshop and share with you some of the products I've made. You'll see in upcoming videos, I have 3 collections, so today I'll just show you one, and in the upcoming videos I will show you the rest. So let's get into it. The situation is my first collection. It's my baby in a way, and I focus more on stickers because I think you remember in my last video I talked about like, oh, I'm going to start a stationery business and I'm going to get a Cricut. I'm going to get sticker paper and create stickers. Yay! So I think you'll see that in a reflection of what I've done. And you know, Tanuki is such a cutie to me. How could you say that this is not cute, right? So there's a lot more. Again, you'll see these online, but I kind of picked my favorite ones out of the collection. This is my very first sticker. And as I was still employed and figuring out how to make stickers, this is me as Tanuki working at 9:22. And then quickly became Tanuki creating stickers on the iPad with washi tape, with coffee, dreams of boba, my notebook, my iPad. And here is the Tanuki bookmark that goes with the collection. You will see also warm and cozy. Small steps, big changes. Focus on today. You've got this. And I'm always saying this last phrase at the bottom. I don't know if you can actually see it. Come on, focus. Focus. Well, as I figure out how to get it to do that, maybe you can see that. Progress, not perfection, right? I worked in operations for many years, and a friend of mine, a consultant that used to work with us and became a friend, used to tell us that 100% is merely satisfaction. Now, I worked in HR operations, and when you think about that, that sounds a bit harsh, but when you're talking about payroll and getting people paid, you know, you want 100% perfection every time. But think about how hard that is to achieve in the job you're in today, and the pressure that's on you when you're dealing with somebody's paycheck. So, you know, you try to live up to these standards, but honestly, when you're talking about your life and what you want to achieve, every little step is progress, where you're moving yourself along. And it's not perfection. I realize that as I'm moving through creating this business, that I kind of wanted to get everything made. I wanted all the collections perfect. I needed to be perfect. And that's a pressure that I was putting on myself. And you watch these YouTubers that say, if you have 2 products, put them on. And yeah, it makes sense. You have to start from somewhere and you have to grow from somewhere. So small steps equals big changes. That first video that I put up a few days ago, that was huge. I mean, honestly, I clicked the button to upload the video and I felt like I was going to puke. But then it got easier. I got some views. I had my village putting comments out there and I got over it. And that was really a small step when you think about it, but it had such a big impact. And that's what you want to do. You've got this in your life where you need to have everything buttoned up. At least for me, that I'm such a perfectionist. But small steps. I have to remind myself. And the last thing in this little connection is my cute little sticker sheet that goes along with it. Right? So this is printed on vinyl paper. It is not does not have an adhesive laminate on it because it's meant to go into your planner, and it is therefore matte finished. Right, so you can see the difference with some of like my Tanuki situation. It has a very gloss. This is also on vinyl sticker paper, but it is laminated, so it has a bit of extra protection for you if you want to put it on a water bottle or put it on the outside of your notepad. Yep, so that's a Tanuki situation right there. So while I clean up, I thought I would just give you a little wrap up. I showed you my little photo board. Seriously, it is just 2 pieces of canvas with peel and stick Dollar Tree paper. No lie. The sawtooth hanger. And isn't it cool? Because it actually folds up and I can store it really easily on a shelf. Yeah. Necessity is the mother of invention. But let me tell you a little bit about how I felt coming back from the bank. It felt so good to have set up my bank account. I got my bank account, I got my business credit card, and it felt official. It felt so real to have those things done. Now, 2020 hindsight, I should have set this up from the beginning and have all of my expenses because, look, no lie, when I do things, my husband calls me extra, and I am, because I go all in, and the amount of expenses I have, I should have been segmenting them, separating them from the beginning. But you live and you learn. It's there now. I could start doing it, but it would have been better to just fund the business account and have all the expenses come from there. But yeah, you know what? I am actually really surprised that I have these 3 collections. My mind kept going, and there's more to come. The having spent so much of the past 2-3 years just feeling a bit stuck. Hey, it's funny because my company name is Stuck on You. But it is also sticking to things that matter, right? Not like my job, what didn't matter, but this really matters to me. The creativity is just pouring out of me. I want to do so much. Behind me and around me, there's more than just what I showed you in the video. There are tons of stickers. I will be doing my first craft market. I got accepted to one, only one this year, and it's probably a good thing because that one is a 3-day one. Foot traffic is supposed to be, up to 20,000 people. But I have a lot more stickers that I will not be putting on my shop. They'll just be truly, market-based for that kind of audience. So a lot of kids stuff, a lot of maybe more paper crafts when it comes to Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers. And you'll join me along that way too as I start preparing that stuff when I come back. But I can't wait to launch this shop. I have really dedicated so much of my time you know, like I said, my last day was April 17th, April 18th. I poured my heart and soul into learning and creating this business that I have. I had to learn so many different applications. My husband will tell you that I was up until like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on my iPad trying to, you know, do stickers, create stickers on Procreate. Let me tell you, I'm a paper and pencil girl. Give me a few colored pencils and but learning how to do digital artwork, I think that took me about a month to figure out, and then how to translate that into the Cricut design tool. Printing so many stickers where, you know, you get the jagged edges because I didn't use the right outline pen in Procreate, and then going back, figuring out how to do beautiful outlines and dropping it. I was having this process where I would do the sticker, create the illustration in Procreate, then put it into Canva, try to do an outline there, put it into Cricut, print it out, and then it was like bleh. It was, the Cricut was doing like way too much work, and I would hear it, I'd be like, oh no, not again. What did I do wrong? So there was iteration after iteration after iteration. There were many nights I said, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to go to bed. It's too much for my brain. My husband would look at me and go, wow, are you okay? I had such dark bags. Finally, the bags are starting to go away in the dark circles. But yeah, and I fought with Cricut. I created sticker sheets, right? Where is it? I just had it in my hand. The one sticker sheet that it was just like, you girl, what are you doing? When I would think that I had it right, I would set the Cricut to go to cut out a sticker. And then I'd be like, what the hell? Yeah, this one. Like, what the hell? Look at this. Just look at this. Let me peel off this sticker. Oh, and then messing, you know, trying to figure out the pressure and whatnot. Look, 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 look. Look what I did. This is after I thought I knew what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing. But there's just so many lessons. And, you know, that's when I realized my sit back. It's progress over perfection, right? Even though I did this, I got a learning from it. I got so many learnings. It's quite funny. But okay, maybe I didn't, maybe I should not do so many sheets in one project in Cricut, right? Maybe I should do one at a time. That way I don't get confused when I'm trying to do a batch of sticker sheets. So when I have 1, 2, 3, 4, that I'm only working on sticker sheet 1, and then I don't mess it up. So there are little things that I figured out along the way. And I guess everybody does that, right? Tools. I have gone through my favorite things, and you saw me using this X-Acto. Ooh, it's heavy. Let's see if I could show you. This X-Acto cutter, right? Guillotine cutter. It's the little one. I had the swing line. I know a lot of YouTubers love that swing line guillotine paper cutter. Swing line, you make many things that are wonderful, like my can opener. I love my can opener. I've had my can opener probably for 25 years. But maybe it was just the one I got. It never cut right. It bowed, or I couldn't get it to actually cut through the sheet all the way. This X-Acto one, Lord, it's like cutting through butter. It's just like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. When I hear that sound, I'm like, ooh, perfection. Love that thing. But also too, like, you know, I bought this heavy duty paper cutter because I see a lot of people using, this is the OG in my craft room. This I've had Oh my God, how long have I had you? 10, 15, 20 years? I don't know. Um, but it works beautifully on 1 to 2 pieces of paper. And as I've grown with what I've wanted to create, I could not do, these beautiful edges with that. And I could not do, I already told you my struggles with the swing line, these beautiful edges with this many pages with, my friend swing line. So I got that. That took a little bit of effort to learn as well. It was anything, you start to tweak here and there, you start to tweak settings, and you're like, oh, that's how you make it work. That's how you get a better cut. That's how I have a better product. And so here I am. I am in my creative mode. I'm in my admin mode, because when you start a business, you wear every single hat. So not only learning different applications, learning different tools, but also learning how to establish a business compliantly and within the boundaries of the law, right? So, okay. I have, what's that movie that you have? It was a cartoon. Was it Megamind? Remember how big his head was? That's my head right now, and not in a Pinky in the Brain, I want to take over the world. It's like so heavy. It's so much. There's so much information in my head right now that it's just like it's gonna explode any second. But I am faithful that in a couple of weeks my shop will launch. If you are following me, thank you to everyone who watched my first video, that subscribed or put a comment. I know you are my village, and I love you, and I'm so grateful and thankful. If you are watching my video now for the very first time, hopefully, you like my energy, you're part of my peoples, and you'll also like and subscribe my videos, and drop a comment. Let me know that you're out there. But yeah, I so am excited. I didn't tell you, like, after I got out the bank, I felt like Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman has been a part of my life since I was 5 years old. I watched Linda Carter on TV. That was my show. That was my girl. She has been my guiding light. So living for, truth, justice, and mankind. That's me. But unfortunately, I don't know, unfortunately, the Boo-Boos had taken over my Wonder Woman collection. She's downstairs in my office. The Boo-Boos are upstairs in my creative workshop. But I felt so good to have accomplished that, and energized, and just, I'm ready. I am so ready. Where I thought at the beginning of the year, I'm like, oh my God, can I do this? Can I do this? Like, I'm doing this thing now. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for joining me for my second video on YouTube. Please look out for future updates when my shop is going to open. Join me with my anxiety on doing that as I schedule the shop opening. So please join me. If you like my videos, hit that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Bye.